Gotta go in public. Put that right there. We're gonna bring it back. Let's go. Right. Okay. We are live. And today we're going to discuss electric football plays, and we're going to tweak basics. It's going to give everybody time to get in. This is the Electric Coast channel. I'm Mo, and I welcome you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is the Electric Coast channel, and this is Electric Football Open Talk, analysis and tweak. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Electric Coaches channel. This is Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. Welcome, everyone, to the Electric Coach channel. This is Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. Okay, so far we have 4 people in the room, but no one is speaking. We're going to give everybody time to come in. It's okay to feel free to introduce yourself. I'm Mo, the Electric Coach, and I welcome you. Hey, what's up, Kit? Coach K, Marcel Escada. Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome to Electric Coast Channel. We're going to bring you electric football talk live right here on the Electric Coast Channel. Marcel Escada, you're new to the chat. Say, Kit, no, I'm not going to be long. Okay. Marcel, I'm glad you like the music. This particular piece is, I entitled it Mind Tickle. I'll start it over for you. I'm going to start it over the way I like for it to be. Stand by. Okay, Marcel Escada from Barcelona. I'm glad to have been a help to you in this hobby, electric football. Put it on pause for a moment. Yeah, Marcel, this game goes all the way back to 1947. It's it's a relatively old game. And this game I've been playing pretty much my whole life. I've been playing since the 70s. And it's a lot of, and pretty much all the guys in the community have been playing since they were kids. Okay, you said you never played, but you love your video. You love the videos and the strategy of the game. Oh, yeah. There's strategy to be had in this game. You know, you can't just line your figures up and just hope things happen. And I'm going to talk to you about that in one of my analysis videos here. This field here you see, this is from the Capital City Clash 2022. And we're going to go over to this field, and I'm going to talk to you about what the coaches were doing in this particular video. Also, we're going to come back over to the game table here live right here in the studio, and we're going to finish tweaking this bass. And I got a couple of other basses I want to show you that came out of this pack right here from ITZ. So we got a little bit to cover. You know, we're not going to, I don't intend to push this video 4 hours like I did last time, because we talked about everything last week. So yeah, Marcel, welcome back to the channel. Coach K, Richard from Shiner, Texas. Coach K, have I met you before? Yeah, let me know, man. Let me get back to this song, Mind Tickle. Let's get it going. Okay, let me put it on pause. Okay, Coach K, you said haven't met, but I'm pretty active in Facebook groups. Okay, I'm going to the Tutor National Tournament in April. Yeah, you're talking about the Capital City Clash. That's gonna be held in College Park, Maryland. I believe it's April 12th to the 14th. I believe it is. Yeah, that's the weekend, April 12th to the 14th. And Marcel, you said, do you think I should buy a board online and try to ship it to Europe, or should I try to make my own field? Well, Marcel, I don't know. I mean, if you want to make your own board, do you think you have do you have the craftsman skills to create your own board? I mean, that's that I can't answer for you. But as far as buying a board for yourself, you want to buy one from Tudor Games. Tudor Games is owned by B Nut. He's the new owner of Tudor. I mean, you can perhaps buy one and ship it. Right. So I don't know, Marcel. If you're a craftsman and you know wood and you know woodworking, I would say yeah, make your own board and then you just contact. You can contact. I believe ITZ. They make motors also. You probably can contact them and get your motors. And as far as your field cover goes, I mean, you can definitely find guys, in the hobby who makes field covers. Let me see. Marcel, you says I am a craftsman, but it looks expensive to make one. No, it's not. It's not. If you make your own board, no, it's not. Um, you go to your. I don't know what they have in Barcelona, but here in the United States, we got Lowe's, we got Home Depot where you can buy your wood and you go cut it, do what you have to do with it. Hello, Kevin D. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Kit said Kit Kitchen. He made his own board when he was overseas in Kuwait. Um, Kit, he makes field covers. You might be able to talk to him. Marcel, you can talk to Kit. He makes field covers. If you want, you can come on Facebook and you can meet the community, and you'll meet guys there who do great work in this hobby. We got board makers, we got figure designers, we got decal designers, what have you. Everything we need in this hobby is here for us. So you just gotta make the arrangements to have your board or figures, what have you, to be sent out to Barcelona. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get we got a few people in. We're gonna go. We're gonna get. Let's see what time we got. It's currently 8:20 Eastern Standard Time in the United States. So we're gonna go maybe 15 more minutes. Give some more people time to come in, and we're going to move over to the game board, and we're going to talk about this single base that I was working on in the last electric football open talk video. Okay, Kevin D, you said making your own board. I was wondering about fiber boards. Um, there's nothing better in this hobby in regards to boards. Your sheet metal surface is the best surface because it allows the transformer to vibrate across the board evenly. You know, you can use fiber. I mean, it works, but the sheet metal, it's more responsive. When you turn that switch on, your figures really get going, especially when you have well tweaked bases, which we're going to talk about with this base here as well as this pack. All right. Um. Yeah. So we're gonna do a short recap about this base last week. So let me pull up this picture real quick. I'm gonna keep you here at the game table. Matter of fact, let's bring the music back in. Let that play, and we're gonna go and get this picture, and I'm gonna come back and show it to you. Stand by. Okay, guys, we're at the we're here at the desktop, and this was the base that I was tweaking on last week, and I saved this base. I didn't finish tweaking it. So this is a little recap, so we can give people some time to get in here. Um, if you look right here on these front prongs right here, you'll see flash protruding from the very tips of those two prongs. Okay, Coach K, you said same. I just posted to the electric football coaches group. Okay. All right. So these two inside prongs, they have a flash on them. Well, they did. And I use my lighter, my cigarette lighter, to remove that flash. All right. So the prongs are clear. Let's see. See if we can move this picture up a little bit. We'll close this one out. We'll go get other photo. And here's a image of that same base from a different angle. And you're looking right down into the base itself. All right. And you see that flash right there on that second prong, right on the tip, protruding from the right corner there. All right. So by removing that flash, I was able to get the base that we're going to look at here on the game table to move. All right. So that was the whole objective when we first pulled the base out of the pack. So that's what was taking place last week. And we also discussed several plays. So if you go, you're here live. So if you go on the channel, on this channel, to the live feed, my last live video, and it was entitled Electric Football Open Talk, right? It was done last week. And you'll see everything we talked about back then. That video is 4 hours long, so you're gonna have to chop it up or look at it look at the video in parts. Or if you feel like you can go all the way through it, then fine. But in that video, you'll see everything that was done to this base when we first started working on it. All right. Let's see. We got about maybe 5 more minutes before we really go ahead and just get started. Hey, how's it going? Fit Studio, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we just trying to give more people time to come in before we go ahead and kick this thing off, man. Um, yeah, I was just telling folks here that we're going to discuss further this bass that I started tweaking in the last EF Talk video. And we're going to go to another play that this is the bass that we worked with in the last tweak video. And I have another play that I want to discuss with you guys in this video. All right. This is the Electric Coach channel, and welcome to Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. AEFL, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're trying to give guys time to come in. That's what I want. I want you guys to come on in before we cook. If you're new here to this particular live, you can go on my live channel, click the live link, and you'll see Electric Football Open Talk. That first video. That video was 4 hours long. You can look in there, and you'll get some idea of what was discussed last week. All right. If you have the patience, you can watch the whole thing straight through. But if you choose to do so, then you can just cut the video up and watch it in parts. The choice is yours. Choice is yours. Well, Marcel, if you want my opinion about teams leaving Oakland, and going to Las Vegas, well, I have a thing for the Raiders. You know, when you the name Oakland Raiders, you know, in my mind, it has a mystique, and that's one of the teams that you just don't mess with. You don't take them out of their place of origin. You know, I have a pet peeve with that. You know, like teams like the Packers or the Cowboys. Their name only sounds correct when you say Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys, Oakland Raiders. There's a ring to it, and they took the Raiders out of Oakland and put them in. First, they was in Los Angeles back in the mid '80s. Wasn't too happy about that. Didn't like that too much. Um, then they came back to Oakland for a little while, and I'm like, yeah, okay, great. That's where they should be. That's where they belong. And now they're in Las Vegas. So it doesn't have the same ring. You know, certain teams in my mind you just can't mess with. You know, I think they should have just created two new teams all together. Left the Raiders in Oakland and created a new Las Vegas expansion team. And I think the city of Oklahoma, I mean the state of Oklahoma, could use a pro team. Maybe they should have did that and took the league from 32 teams to 34. But that's just my opinion. Okay, you have how can you have a pirate team in the middle of a desert? Yeah, that's true. So hey, it's like that. You know, it's like that. I do have the same opinion. Yeah. So that's my position on it. Okay, let's go ahead and get it started, guys. Um, so yeah, last week I was tweaking on this base right here, and was one of the bases that came out of this pack right here from ITZ, and I have another base here out of that same pack. I was doing this offline with this pack of bases, and what I found was that particular pack of bases, they all have flash in the same spot. And I got this picture I want to show you. I'm going to pull it up real quick. And we're going to take you over to the desktop here. And when you look at the prongs, these two prongs here and these two prongs there, those are two other bases that I took out the package. And the flash is in the same place as the first base that I showed you last week, and that's the base that's right here on the board. That particular figure right there, which is partially tweaked, by the way. All right? So I'm using this as a teachable moment. When you see a base with flash on it, don't worry. You can clean that off, and it won't impact the movement of the base once you clear that flash off. All right? So I have another one of those bases out of the pack, and I'm going to show you what the base was doing last week. All right? So let me clear off the screen real quick before I go to the board. All right. Now, put our pen down. So here's the pack of bases right here. You see the two spaces missing? Right? The two spaces that are missing. That's one of the bases right here. And here is the other base right here. Okay? This one right here has not been tweaked yet. I'm going to show you the difference. This base has been partially tweaked. I flash the front of the prongs to clean off the flash using my lighter here. All right. And I flatten the prongs I flattened and curled the prongs using my needle nose pliers and my thin duckbill pliers here. All right. So I want to show you something. So you got partially tweaked right here and no tweak on this base. Let's watch the movement. You see that? This guy just stood still and hopped around. Whereas the partially tweaked base, it got out. It's all the way up here. And we're still not done tweaking on this. So the point that I was making with this base was that if you get a base out the pack, like this guy right here, and the guy doesn't move, there's no need to worry. This is why base tweaking is important. All right? When you're putting your team together, the base is everything. This is the lifeblood. This is the heartbeat of electric football. The base. All right? So we're going to move this guy over here. Now, there was a viewer that was with us last week. He wanted to see me finish tweaking this base out because the base was turning this way. All right? And as you can see when it runs, it's doing just that. So I wanted to straighten the base out. And what I was doing was I was using my needle nose pliers on this base, and I was slightly twisting the prongs in an effort to straighten them out. Although when you look at the prongs, the prongs look straight to the eye, right? But the plastic has a little twist along the face of it. All right? So what I want to do, I want to take my needle nose pliers, and I want to grab each prong and give it a little turn in an effort to encourage more straight movement up the board. All right? So what I just did was I had my hand like this, and I twist the prongs that way, going this way. All right? Just a little bit, not too much. Run the board and see what happens. And you see how tight that turn is now? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring those prongs back. This time I'm going to twist them this way, going this way. All right? So I'm going to grab each prong. I'm just doing this to the front prongs. I haven't even touched the back yet with these needle nose pliers. All right. Going to do this with each prong. What we're trying to do here, before we apply any heat to these prongs, we basically want to see the base's natural movement as we tweak. So it's kind of like you got a new athlete, you just want to see him in shorts and t-shirt. You don't care about pads right now. So when you're tweaking your bases initially, you're observing the movement of your players. How well do they move? What are they showing you? All right, and then as a coach, you can determine what you're going to do with this particular figure and base as you develop it in your tweak process. All right. Let's run it now. Still turn left. See? So I still got the back prongs that I can twist. Right? So I'm gonna do that. I haven't applied the cigarette lighter to these back prongs yet. Alright? So I'm going to twist these prongs here in the back a little bit to see if we can get these prongs to assist the front to move. To go straight, that is. Let's see. Tighter turn. So, if you ever watched a fire truck, you got the guy in the back seat that drives, and you got the guy in the front seat, right? They have to steer together in tandem when they turn corners. So your base kind of operate the same way. If you have front control and you got back control. So I twisted these back prongs this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these back prongs and I'm going to turn them the opposite way. Not too much. You don't have to turn the prong into a noodle. All right? I'm going to turn these prongs the opposite way. All right? Because now the term is even tighter. We're trying to get the figure to go further up the board. All right? Okay? So all in all, at this point right now, the base is showing me that it wants to arc to the left. So just that alone, right? And we still haven't tested for strength and things of that nature. We haven't really smashed down on the prongs to really flatten them out to get the most speed out of the base or the most strength. We haven't done that yet. So just using cold pliers, right? I got my warm pliers right here, all right? Haven't even introduced these to the base yet. Because once you melt or cut, clip a prong, what have you, there's no coming back from that. And we still haven't used our straight edge toenail clippers yet. See? Use these to trim the tips of your prongs on your base. Along with the help of these trimmer guides right here. These guides are from ITZ. And you basically set the prongs of your base in these slots, which are of different thicknesses, right? And they will help you to trim your prongs to a certain level. So you have a 1 millimeter slot, right? That's the thinnest one. So more prong is going to protrude through the other side, and you'll be able to clip more prong off, which I wouldn't recommend. You have your 1.5 millimeter. You have a 2 millimeter thickness, 2.5 millimeter thickness. I like to work between 2.5 and the 3 millimeter setting when I trim the tips of my prongs. All right? Go small before you start going big, because once you clip something off, there's no coming back from that. All right? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Kenshin, you said turn one at a time, pull the left down, and micro touch. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pull the left down and micro touch. All right, I'll look into that. And the bass is moving smooth. Yes, it is, because I'm just touching the bass right now. I'm not really digging into it. I'm bringing the bass up slow for this video to show coaches that, hey, when you tweak, when you get ready, when you build your teams, these are the techniques that you can use without damaging your bases. Hey, what's going on, Rafiq? Welcome back. Welcome back, man. We got Rafiq, man. For those who don't know, we got Rafiq McDonald in the building, in the chat, and he's one of our premier coaches in the community. And if you got, hey, guys, look, if you got some questions, this is the time to ask. I got a strategy. I got a strategy clip that I'm going to show you guys over here. I'm gonna try and make those types of clips, a norm in these live talks where I bring a play in and discuss it. I'm saving that for later on in the video because we're still talking about this base over here at the table. And like I said earlier, these two other bases, they came out of the same package, and the flash was located pretty much on the same two inside prongs. All right. So I'm gonna go back over here, and remember this base right here is this base came out of the same pack, and it has not been tweaked yet, right? Let's watch it again. See how this guy leaves? That guy's still there. He hasn't been tweaked yet. All right? We're going to keep him over there. Using those pliers. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. If you like the video, smash that. All right, so I'm going to twist some more on these prongs. I'm not going to pull on anything yet. I don't want to clip anything yet. Right? Because we want to keep as much material as possible on these prongs. Because we want to prove to ourselves, we want to prove that this base is what it is. Right? There it is. A little more straight movement, see? It's getting up the board fast. So now we know already what we can do to get this base to play. Now, we haven't measured strength yet, of course. Now, let's say if I were to match it up against my Kansas City Chief corner, right? I don't expect it to do much in regards to strength. Watch. It bounced off. Yeah, it loses the pushing battle, but also the figure. This is a standard Haiti Repro figure. All right, so it's not as heavy as this this Chiefs figure right here. So in the last video, I talked about weight differences. All right, and if your figure, if your team is heavier than your opponent, then your team is going to push. It's going to push the other team around, right? So those two figures there, the Electric Football Chiefs figure is the heavier figure over the standard Haiti Repro figure, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that Haiti Repro figure off, and I'm going to put a customized figure on it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my customized San Francisco 49er safety. The decals haven't been put on yet. Well, at least this one has. Just the symbol on the helmet hadn't been done yet in the numbers. But it doesn't matter. We're just we're testing our bass. We're testing our new bass. Let's run him first. Let's see what he does. See how it looks. All right. Do it again. Yes, got good movement. Good movement. See? Now we're going to match it up against this customized 49er figure. Let's see how it goes. See how it looks. Yeah, it lost the pushing battle, but not as bad because this figure is a little bit heavier. All right? And mind you, we still haven't really tweaked the bass all the way. Because remember, when the bass first came out the pack, when this bass first came out, all right, this is what it was doing. Watch this guy right here. You see that? So this is certainly better to play with. All right? And it's going back, it's turning back left again. But that's okay. So look, we're going to come back to this bass, and I'm going to take you over to the desktop. And I showed you the pictures there, and I want to bring you to this here. This is one of our plays. And this here, I want to talk about why bass tweaking is important, and pretty much that's what I was talking about last week. All right. So this video was from 2022 Capital City Clash, right? And the two coaches that were playing on this table was Kevin Boren from North Carolina. He's playing with the Wisconsin Badgers. They're the offense here, all right? And Brian Newton out of Kansas City, Missouri, he was playing with his all-star team, which is the defense over here, all right? Going to move that to illustration because we're going to use it again. And when I first saw this particular play right here, I was wondering what was my audio dropped. Why? Did my audio drop, guys? Did anything appear to be unusual on your end? Let me know. Make sure. All right, make sure our plugs are in. Okay, so everything sounds good on your end. Okay. So yeah, I think I accidentally bumped one of my cables here. All right. Let me move this around. Okay, so initially when I saw, okay, great, you guys can't hear it. Okay, so nothing dropped out. Okay, so that's on my end. I think I may have stepped on a plug here. All right. Initially when I saw this play, I'm going to show it to you live also. But I just want to, give it to you. Let you just see the formation here first. I was curious about this corner over here. All right? Because although the figure itself is facing upfield, I know a lot of times guys put the bass on backwards, all right, to, create an illusion, all right? So I was looking at that figure, and I'm like, okay, why did Brian Newton set his corner like that, but everybody else is facing upfield? And I'm seeing blitz right here. I'm seeing potential blitz here and right here, right? So I had to wait till the switch came on. And I'm going to take you over to the live play and show it to you. And then, because this play is going to lead to the second play. That's another reason why I'm showing both of these plays right here, all right? So give me a moment. Let me switch over. Let me go to my sheet here. This is right here and this one. I'm going to play this. I'm running this play for you and let you see it real time.
Field goal.
I'm going to pause it right there. All right. You see again, Brian Newton's corner is there. All right. And Kelly Boren, his receiver, he pivoted his receiver here. All right. So off the break, you already know that this receiver is going to run somewhere up in this part of the field. All right. So let's get back to it.
We got electric coach. Mo finally got his gear set up.
Did you pivot here? I pivoted in there.
Back here, Wisconsin and All Stars.
Oh, I got it. Option. I'm way back here.
Huh? No. 25.
So first down. You sure you think that's where it is?
8.
Number 11 here. Complete. Almost locked them over.
I have a habit of doing that.
Did you touch it? This guy touched it?
Technically, no.
Down there. 3 minutes left of the game.
If I'm sure in that line right there,
I ain't got my guys back too.
That's all right. He's gonna get it.
I'll come back and see.
Don't get.
Oh, is this proms off?
You tell me. You tell me.
Okay, I'm going to freeze it right there. It was almost a fumble because the receiver almost fell down. But as you saw, as I was saying earlier, you saw how the corner, let's move it back a little bit. I'm going to bring it to the slow motion cam in a moment, but I'm just going to do it a little bit right here. You saw how the corner was facing a field. So his corner, that's Brian Newton's corner. Brian Newton allowed his corner to give this receiver a clean release off the line of scrimmage. Right? And the ball is spotted on the, I believe the 33-yard line. They got to get to it appears you got to get to the 41 for a first down. So I'm asking myself, why would Brian allow his receiver to just run clean like that? Because really, if Kevin had kept the board on a little longer, he probably could have gotten more out of this play. But he chose to stop the board here, all right? And he threw to his receiver, and he has a beautiful passing lane right here, all in there, right? Which is the best throws. That's the best condition to make throws when you're playing electric football. You don't want anything between your quarterback and your receiver. So Brian Newton allows the receiver to get a clean release off the line of scrimmage. And then the next play I'm going to show you why he did that. All right? Now, Rafiq, you saying that's a pick. Yeah, it could be because Kevin stopped the board here, there's a possibility that he could make a mistake and throw an incomplete pass there at that engaged defender. Or if he really messed up, hit this corner right here. I mean, that would be That would be tragic. But the pass was complete. And Brian simply turned this corner around and made a tackle on the play. Let's bring it back right about here, and we'll play it again. Right there.
Is this guy touching?
Technically, no.
I'm gonna turn the water on in a minute. 'Cause as you guys know, they got the defensive coach has to make his adjustments to all of his unengaged defenders. All right, and that's what Brian Newton is doing with his defensive players right now.
30 minutes left of the game.
I ain't got my guys back to.
That's all right. He's gonna get it.
I'll come back and see.
Oh, is his primes off?
You tell.
Right. So the corner that was positioned, allowing the receiver to run free, made a tackle on the ball. So now the ball is spotted at the 30-yard line. I believe this down right here was third down. I didn't have my scoreboard up for this particular table. So I think you've seen enough with this play. So we don't need to go to the slow motion cam to discuss this play further. I don't think we do. Let's see. I think we will. We're going to leave that up. We're going to close this, and I'm going to pull this one up for the meantime. This is the second play right here, which we're going to come back to in a moment. And go to the slow motion cam real quick. And we're going to look at that play. Now, we're going to look at the play again. We're moving forward, and you see Brian Newton making his adjustments to his defensive players. And he confirms by pointing at the receiver that he asked Kevin, did he make a pivot on that receiver? And that was clear that he did. Let's go ahead and move it forward. And of course, the defensive coach is making his checks. He likes what he sees, and the board goes on. Bring it back. Now you see how this corner here just gives a clean release to the receiver. I didn't at the moment I didn't understand, but what he say, Fitz, he was not hoping to cut the board off that fast. It would have been a better play. Yeah, he probably did want to keep the board running some more, but he stops the board right there. And in my opinion, he probably should have cut the board off when the receiver got about there. Well, then no, because this guy right here, this defender and receiver probably would have crowded the space. So, but at any rate, Kevin, he made the choice to stop the board where he stopped it at. So he goes to make the pass, and after the pass was complete, I thought, okay, well, good toss, but you need to get to the here's the ball, here's the first down marker here, and that's the 41-yard line. So I'm like, well, maybe you should have, again, done something different. All right. So he completes the pass, and the receiver is tackled at the 30-yard line, where he actually loses yards on this play. Gets tackled around in here. All right. So he's brought to third down and 11. Okay. So now I'm going to take you to the next play, and I'm going to talk about why now I understood why Brian gave the receiver a clean release. Let me switch over. I'm going to show you the play. This one. All right. And let me move back. All right. So we're going to go live on this one. And we're going to watch this play go.
49 seconds. 49. 49 seconds.
Motion to pivot?
Just one motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom!
Sack.
Got him!
No.
No, he definitely got him.
Sack.
All right, give my side guy up.
Okay. I'm going to freeze it there. I'm going to rewind it. Bring it back. I'm going to let you watch it again. Move back a few more ticks. One more. I'm going to let you watch it again. And I want you to tell me what you saw. The last play you watched and this play. All right? It looks like the ball markers, the ball spot on the 30. Yeah, that 41 is missing. Okay, but at any rate, this play came after the first play. Watch this. Watch it again.
49 seconds. 49. 49 seconds.
Motion to pivot?
Just one motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom!
Sack.
Got him!
No.
No, he definitely got him.
Sack.
All right, give my side guy up.
Okay. We're going to put this one down. We're going to come back up. And we're going to get our illustration. Now, the reason why I believe, I didn't ask Brian this. I didn't get a chance to ask him. But based on my analysis, the reason why Brian set his corner like this on that last play, allowing the receiver to have a clean release up the board, all right, was because he was baiting Kevin. So the first play, he allowed Kevin to complete that pass in this area right about here. There was a passing lane right in there. He drew Kevin into that space right there, while at the same time, he was covering all other receivers on the table. All right? So now, when Kevin saw this corner in that same place, Kevin said, "Hey, I'm going to take full advantage of that." Not taking into account these two guys right here, these two defenders over here. He wasn't worried about this guy too much either. All right? Because he kept the board on too long. Because he wanted to get this receiver further open. And as a result of doing that, he got his quarterback sacked. Well, he was worried about this defender here because he motioned this running back over this way. So let's move it forward a little bit. Okay, you got Brian. He's moving his defenders. Okay, Kevin, he positions that running back into the slot. Defense makes more adjustments. So there, see, Kevin is looking. Kevin was thinking that blitz was going to come from this guy here. That's why he moved that running back into that space. All right? He thought that, yeah, my receiver is going to go here, and this guy is too far away. He's over here by the numbers. This guy is blocked. All right? Let's run it some more. Let's bring it back. That's the sack right there. It came hard and it came fast, right? So let's bring it back. Okay. So when Kevin turned the switch on, here's what I think he saw. I'm going to stop it there. He saw these two defenders looking like they were going to clash and they were going to miss the quarterback. So he chose to keep the board on longer. Let's clear this out. I don't want to get too convoluted. If you watch the initial movement of that inside linebacker, he appears to be going straight, right? So Kevin thinks he's in the clear. He thinks it's gravy because he wants this receiver over here to get open because Brian was allowing his corner to allow the receiver to run free. All right? So from the first play, Brian was showing Kevin that you can have your receiver in this passing lane. And here's the lane right here. Right? Two defenders who look like they're going to miss the quarterback. Fitz, you go, wow, the corner was allowing time for the safety to get to the quarterback. Yeah. So this is how you simulate when you play electric football. This is how you scheme in electric football. This is one of the ways you do it. Brian allowed, if you look at all the other receivers on the field, everybody's covered except this guy. See? Kevin has no other options but that receiver. So he wants to keep the board running to try and get that first down. So we move it ahead a little bit, but watch this. That second defender that was playing over top the numbers, he trails behind that inside linebacker. See that? Now, if Kevin wanted to, if he stopped the board there, now the ball. See, I'm curious because this ball marker was set at the 41. This one is the 30. So this is the 35. Okay, so at any rate, though, I think I remember this play being a third down play. But I'm not going to really worry too much about the ball markers. Okay, Rafiq, you said he motioned the wrong player. He should have pivoted the running back towards the blitzer. Well, I saw blitz all over the board. If you go back, like, let's bring it back some more, where he motioned the running back. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to get him back to where he motions the running back. Yeah, bear with me here. All right, here. This is where Kevin took his running back from, okay? So I see blitz, at pre-snap setup. I see blitz here, here, and there. So by placing the running back here, he took care of one blitzer, but he still had this guy and that guy. And I'm thinking that Kevin thought that he may be able to get away with not covering these two guys over here. Like, maybe pivot a lineman probably. Wait a minute. As a matter of fact, the rule set, Rafiq, can you pivot lineman? Are you allowed to pivot? Are you allowed to pivot a lineman? I'm not sure about that part of the rule set. Maybe you can answer that for me. But yeah, I'm thinking that okay, yeah, you can pivot lineman. Okay, so I'm thinking that Kevin thought that he was going to be able to pull off, that he was going to be able to evade these two defenders here, this one and that one, especially this guy. He's really far away from the quarterback. All right, but speed kills, as the saying goes. As long as he's uncovered, yeah. So this offensive tackle right here. If you look here, this OT right in here, he could have been pivoted outside to pick up this guy, but Kevin didn't do that. You say he's a DB, yeah. Okay, this guy right here is a DB. Are you talking about that guy, Rafiq? Or are you talking about this guy? Because I'm looking at, yeah, this guy is a DB. And this guy, I'm not sure. Okay, they both are DBs? Okay, they're both DBs. Okay, they're both defensive backs. So yeah, I don't think Kevin was banking on these guys making it to his quarterback. So that's why he kept the board on a little bit longer. He was looking at this corner who was giving him a free pass in last play as well as this one. All right? So let's move it forward a little bit again. You see the motion, right? Empty backfield. And here it comes. And I think right here, or I would say maybe a little earlier, about there, Kevin thought that these two guys were going to collide and just keep going down the field, allowing for his receiver to run here somewhere in this area and get the first down. So he kept the board on too long, and that DB cut short, and there it is, sack. So what I'm saying to you, well, to Rafiq, I'm preaching to the choir. But if you're new to this game and you don't really understand how to play, what I'm showing you is things to look out for if you ever do play, and things you can try to create, all right, for yourself if you played. See, I always say in all my videos, or at least many of them, when you play electric football, you don't just line up. You don't just get your players and just put them on the table, and you don't just grab guys. I'm gonna get my 49ers line right here real quick. These guys I haven't decaled yet. You don't just do this. You don't just put them on a table and do that, and then you put a quarterback back there and you throw a guy over here. Yeah, no, you don't do that. In electric football, you line up with purpose. If I'm putting this guy over here, I want this guy to do something. If I, close my line up a little bit here, move some room. If I put the receiver like that, and I pivot him like that, I'm doing it for a reason. I'm not just pivoting the guy just to be pivoting. If I'm playing defense and I put my corner on the field, I put him right there. I put him, inside jam. I ain't just doing it just to be doing it. I have a plan in mind. I understand what each one of my bases do, be it defense or offense. I put a guy up here. I have a plan. I don't want the guy just to run straight down the board. That's useless. Unless, of course, I think something is going to come that way. But as this formation stands, right? If I turn the board on, he's going to go down there. That's not going to do anything. I want this guy to come in and do that. You see? You got to have an idea what you want to do when you line your players up. And that's what Brian Newton was doing when he got this sack right here. All right? The last play, he used the first play to set up the sack in the next play by giving the receiver a clear opening, right, to receive the football. By doing that, that allowed Kevin to keep the board running, which in turn gave time for Brian's defensive backs to get to the quarterback. That's pretty much, electric football in a nutshell. Now, how you intend to implement your team, that's entirely up to you. But that implementation, it starts right here, one base, one figure at a time, using your tweak tools. This guy's over. One base, one figure at a time. Right? When you tweak your team up, you have to have a plan in mind on how you want your guys to play, what you want your guys to do. Right? So in this case, this player right here, he's showing me more like he wants to play on the right side. All right? He's got good speed. Got a comment from Fifth Studio. You said, I see what Rafiq is saying as the running back that he moved would have just made contact with the end, no sack. Yeah. I mean, if he had moved, if Kevin had placed that running back, this running back right here, if Kevin had, let's switch over real quick. All right. You see this illustration, right? If Kevin had taken this running back and motion and put him in this slot, or really if he had kept him in this backfield, he probably could have gotten him to, chip at least this guy. But yeah, Kevin was more worried about the blitz coming from here more than he was over here. This guy in his mind was too far away. Kevin thought he could turn the football. He thought he could turn the board off sooner, right, than he could if the blitz came from this guy. All right? And as the board was running, you said that fits made to cover the back. I need you to clarify that, Rafiq. You said the guy on the 30 is a blitzer. Okay. You talking about this defensive back here, Rafiq? Yeah, you mean this DB right here, the illustration? That's the guy you talking about? That's the blitzer? Because at pre-snap, at pre-setup, pre-snap setup, I'm seeing 3 blitzers. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, because at pre-snap, before Kevin moved that running back, before he motioned that running back, I saw blitz here, here, and here. That's just me. I see that. fundamentally for me in this game, whenever I see players outside without no cover, that interprets to me blitz. Although, I mean, the base could be reverse tweaked and the player could back out and move backwards. That could happen too. But just for me, fundamentally, any player sitting on the end like that, like I said, be it here, here, or here, anywhere along line of scrimmage, that says blitz to me. I see blitz. And I want to be careful. I want to manage my switch. One is over a cover corner covering the back and due to his pose. All right? So that's just my thinking. When you show me that, I'm saying I'm reading blitz. And I know and understand the speed of this hobby game, if you will. And I respect the speed in this game. And when I turn the board on, I'm handling the switch with kid gloves. But at the same time, I'm not going to be so anxious to get off the switch that I don't give my players time to get in position to make plays. All right? So, I'm going to run it again. I'm going to move it again in slow motion here. So, pause it. I'm going to bring it back. Yeah. I think Kevin was confident that this defender here, as well as this defender here, Kevin didn't think those guys were going to make it to the quarterback. He thought that they were going to clash. But the DB that's all the way out here happened to be the one to get to him. And yes, you're right, Fitz. Speed kills. Speed kills. Let's move this illustration out of the way. Let's watch it again. You see that? And quite honest, the receiver, his intended receiver had fallen down. So at this point, he's got really nobody to throw to except a receiver that's down on the board. This receiver right here. By that time, the play was too late. Turning off the switch was too late. I think he was done right about there. He probably couldn't go any further with the switch. He should have stopped. But again, he thought that those two defenders weren't going to make it to the quarterback. You said Rafiq McDonald up top. When you say up top, are you talking about this receiver right here? That's why I back some more. Because if he stops the switch right there, if Kevin stops the switch here, his receiver is engaged. The receiver is inside that illustration. If he stops it there, the receiver is still caught up. So I'm not sure, Rafiq. I don't think, because at this point, even if he did stop the board, if he stopped the board there, I think he's still going to get sacked. He had a 25-yard line open. Let's bring it back. Okay, let's see it again. Let's move this illustration over here. Okay. The receiver comes off. This receiver right here, he came from the 25-yard line. The defender is engaging him at the 30. As we move it ahead some more, now right there, there's a little bit of separation. Okay, he could have stopped the board there. make a pass here, and pivot the receiver upfield. But I don't know if that's which way your pivot is going to go, because when he pivots the receiver upfield, the wide receiver looks like he's on a diagonal base. Are you talking about the receiver that's in the illustration? Let me move it again for you. This receiver here, let's wind it back. That receiver is now on 25 right there. All right. Which receiver on diagonal base? Because I got this one, that one, here, and here. These are your wideouts. That one over there, this one over here. And he's got let me see, last guy. Okay. So he's saying last guy, this guy right here. I'll pause, because it's going to be a little delay by the time you get it. Okay. You said that guy looks like he's on a diagonal base. Okay. When we move it forward, that base is pretty much it's sliding a little bit, and that probably is why the figure fell down. If it looks like, as you look at the figure moving, we're talking about this guy right here. This was the intended receiver. All right. Okay, so as he's moving, he's not exactly going straight down the board. It's like he's sliding over this way, sideways. And because it's a tall receiver, right, great intent. Okay, because that figure is tall, its movement caused it to fall down. Yeah, the base does look like it's going sideways. You see? So, again, I just think that Kevin thought he could keep the board on a little bit longer, and that receiver would be there. You know, and just looking at the way the board is set up right now, look at that huge passing lane right there. So I'm thinking that Kevin was hoping that he could get that receiver to go into that lane, which he did fall into it. He fell there, but it was too late. You see? So all in all, guys, you want to work with your team when you're tweaking bases and you're choosing figures, right? You're choosing figures to work with. You gotta go one figure at a time, one base at a time, and you have to have an idea of what you want each one of your players to do. So we're back at the game table, and there's still some more tweaks that we can do to this base, like the back prongs. Okay, I didn't flash these prongs, although there is no flash on them. All right, I didn't pass a lighter over those back prongs, so I'm going to switch this base back to our traditional Haiti Repro figure. All right. I'll set him right there. And we're going to run this guy. Run him again. We're going to constantly run this player to monitor our tweak. All right. Every time you make a tweak to any part of the bass, you want to test the bass and run it. All right? Let's do that now. Okay, it's still pretty much running the same way it was when we twisted our prongs. I'm going to twist them again. And I'm twisting the front the front side of these prongs this way, going that way. All right? And we don't want to pull nothing. You don't want to stretch nothing. We don't want to clip anything as of yet. Because we are still evaluating what this bass is doing. When you're new in the hobby, this is how you want to approach your tweaks, with cold pliers. All right? No fire, no clipping, or anything of that nature. Run them again. There it is. See, by twisting those back prongs, we encouraged more forward movement, and got a lot more speed out of the bass. Right? We still haven't, we still haven't like done everything to the bass. That's what's cool about these ITZ, basses right here. Right? You ain't gotta do much to get them moving. Right? And if you wanna, turn that bass to a beast, there's a lot more you gotta do. But fundamentally, to get these basses to go, all you gotta do is do a little bit of flattening with your duckbill pliers, a little bit of curling and twisting using your needle nose pliers, and you might gotta remove some flash. It depends, because this particular pack, as a matter of fact, I got 2 packs like these, and they all have flash on those 2 inner prongs, right? And and while we're here, I'm gonna read this number off to you, man, because some of you may have this package. It's a little stock number here, and it reads 75361185995564. I'm gonna repeat. 75361185995564. If you have that number on your ITZ, let me see. These basses were called this is the SFR1. Like on the back of the bass, there's a little one on the back edge of the bass. The name of the bass is etched into the plastic at that back hook. And these basses they're also on the package as well. These are green SFR basses, right? So if you got that number on your package, more than likely you got flash on those 2 inner front prongs. Let's see, we got a comment from Kevin D. I think my tweaking technique is solid with the CO1, but these newer basses seem a bit more rubber based. Right, okay, you agree, Kev? Okay, Kev, Fit Studio, that's the fun in building your team. I love it. Yeah, I love it too, man. Love this game. Love talking about it. Love discussing it. Look, that's why I do all this right here. All this analysis and looking at plays and trying to interpret what a coach was thinking when he lined up a certain way. See, during game time when I'm behind the camera, I don't have the time to get into it like that. Sometimes I may catch a coach and ask him why he ran a particular play or why he didn't do this or didn't do that, right? But for the most part, it's when I get back to the studio and I sit down and I go through all my video clips and I asked myself, I'm like, why? Why did he do this? Why didn't he do that? And I run the play back over and over again, trying to get some idea of what that coach was thinking at that time. So I guess next time I see Kevin, next time I see Brian, I can ask them some questions. Like, yeah, what were you doing? They may share it with me, they may not. But yeah. So back at this base right here, I'm gonna get my flat nose pliers, and I'm gonna bite down on these prongs some more. I still haven't used my Zern pliers yet. I'm gonna do that in a moment after I flatten these prongs some more. Still using cold pliers. These are my thin duckbill pliers, right? And I'm gonna show you a difference again in thickness. You see that? These pliers are thicker. The cross section of the jaw on these pliers is wider. All right, and with these, you can get more leverage over the entire prong when you smash down with these, right? I'm gonna set those up there for the meantime. I'm gonna take out smaller duckbill pliers. And all I want to do is just flatten these prongs. I'm going to get my Zerns in a minute. And my Zern pliers are here. And these are the real fine ones, right? These are the real, see, they're like flat needle nose pliers. And when you compare the thickness of the cross section of the jaws, you can see the difference there, see? And with these Zerns, let me check comments real quick. Where did you get them? Fitz, are you talking to me when you ask where did you get them? Where did I get what? It's about pliers. I'll stand by for your answer. I see with these Zern pliers, you can like really pinch down fine with these pliers, see? And you can really get down into the core of that plastic, right? So we're going to run it again. All right? It's back turning again. Because when I flatten the prongs, let me set these right here. When I flatten the prongs again using these pliers, right? That twist I put in them, it took that twist out. So I can twist with these. Like if I was to grab the prong flat like that, I could twist with these. Like so. Like this here. I'm deliberately putting a twist on these prongs. Like that. All right. I'm going to run it. See what it does. Got a little bit more speed out of it. See? Yeah. So look, the base is cold. Still haven't put any hot pliers on the plastic yet. All right. I still got my other pliers warming on the coffee mug warmer, right? Okay, yeah. Fitz, you want to know where I got my pliers from? These Zern pliers, I got these from eBay. If you go on eBay and type in duckbill pliers, needle nose pliers, Zern pliers, they'll give you a different selection. All right. You also can go to their jewelry shops you can go to where you can get tools also. Like I want to show you these ones. See these pliers right here? These are pan pliers. See, when Tudor had brought back the the speed cleat bases and these blade bases, right? And I found these pliers at a jewelry shop, and I used these to smash down on those speed cleat bases. I mean, you can use them on this base too. Look, the cross section of it allows you to grab all the prongs on the tips, and you can smash down with these, right? You can do that, depending on how creative you want to be, depending on what type of outcome you're looking for. You can try these, you know. Also got some really heavy ones too. See that? Really bite down good with these also. See that? Just give you some idea here on different types of pliers I got. And these pliers, they have measuring lines on them, see? A little bit of dust on there, a little bit of resin dust from all the sanding I was doing on my figures. This jaw is thicker than this jaw right here. See? So when you grab a prong, you turn them over, you can put the fat part on the inside of the base here and squeeze. And because of the measuring lines on here, it gives you an idea of where your prong, how deep you went into the prongs. I got these from a jewelry shop also. All right? So you follow these little numbers here. This little, I think it's like centimeters, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it's a certain number of centimeters apart between the numbers. And your prong is only going, it's not going to go all the way up in here, but it's going to be down in here. But it'll give you some idea of how deep you went on each prong. You see? So, yeah, good Fitz. I'm glad I was able to help. So yeah, you when you tweak, fundamentally, basically you just need flat duckbill pliers, Zurn pliers, right? And needle nose. And with those 3 pliers, you can get a base to respond real quick. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my Zurn pliers and I'm going to hit these back prongs. I haven't used these Zurn pliers on the front prongs yet. Right? So I'm going to take my Zurn pliers. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to smash down. I did 2 tight presses on each prong. Right? And I'm going to flip the base over and I'm going to do it again on the other side of these back prongs. 2 presses. Now these Formula 37 bases are softer. Okay? So you want to be careful not to smash so hard that you press through the plastic. All right? Fifth Studio, what's up, mister? You got Mr. Polar Bear. Got bored. Mr. Polar Bear says, what's up? How you doing, Mr. Polar Bear? Welcome to the chat. And you said you are Okay, I'm trying to understand your slang, Mr. Polar Bear. You're butting and electric football. Oh, you're busting. Okay. All right. Okay. Boy, Mister, what's up, Mister? And then what's up, Polar Bear? Okay, greetings, Polar Bear. Greetings. Okay. We're talking about. I'm tweaking the base here. And earlier we had discussed. You'll be able to go back in the video later. And earlier I discussed a particular play right here where the quarterback was sacked. You'll be able to go back and watch the video from the beginning or halfway in the middle, and you'll be able to get that info. All right. So I used the Zerm pliers on the back prongs, and I did 2 presses on each side of the prong. All right. I said earlier in the video, I said think of prongs like your teeth. You have a tongue side and a lip side, right? So when you look at prongs on the base, this is the front of the base, right? So this side of the prong would be your lip side. And in here, inside the shell in here, this is the tongue side of the base. That's just my terminology. You know, other guys in the hobby might not use that terminology, but I have a way with making up words and making up concepts. So, and I implement those words and concepts here on the Electric Coach channel. So now I done use my Zerm pliers on these back prongs, and I want to run the board again. I want to run that figure and see what happens. All right. Still pretty much the same outcome. Is turning left. That's what it's doing naturally, although I twist the prongs. All right. I didn't twist hard though. See, so as a general manager in electric football, this guy is showing me he wants to play on the right side of the board. All right. So already for me, that could be a potential cornerback. All right. It could be a safety. I mean, hell, you could use it as a wide receiver. And then too, if you when you put the base on a particular figure, right, it may change up. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get my Brandon Ayuk figure, right? And we're gonna put the Brandon Ayuk figure on this base that we're working on. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, but a lot of times, you know, a figure's pose and its weight distribution can change the characteristics of a base. Let's see what happens. It ran pretty good. This time it ran a little bit deeper. So let's say if we had that wide receiver and we set it over there like that. Let's see what it does. That's like I won't say that's not really a slant. A slant is actually a slant. This right here, this route right here, I would say over the middle, some kind of over the middle type of route. All right? So I have receiver here. I put a cornerback on him, and I'm going to do inside leverage. Like that. Let's see what happens. Cornerback didn't go for it, see? Let's do right over the top. See what happens. He gets pushed off line of scrimmage because this base yet has not been tweaked for strength. Right? We just got it moving. So we know right now, as it stands, if you tried to use this base in a game, you already know that any defender that matches up over the top, right, that receiver is going to get crushed on that base. Let's run it again. You see that? But because the base is tweaked, you see how it still gets upfield? This is why base tweaking is important. You saw how the figure got back into the play? Let's do that again. Let's see if we can make it happen again. Okay. Wow. See, this base right here is ready for game time. I did all kind of stuff to this base right here. This base right here. Let's run it again. See what happens. He gets creamed. Okay, he gets pushed out. He gets pushed all over the board. All right. Well, I think this guy's a little bit heavier than that guy. But you get my point. You get what I'm saying, right? So I'm gonna get my Zurins, and this time I'm gonna press on the front prongs now. I'm gonna do the tongue side first, and then I'm gonna flip the base over and do the lip side with these Zurin pliers. Because I already used the I'm gonna do 2 presses. I already used my flat nose pliers on these prongs, and I already flashed them as well with the lighter. Now I said this video wasn't going to go 4 hours. I think I've been on here now. Probably been on here since, what's this, 10 o'clock? We started at 8, so we're looking at about 2 hours. Not bad. Okay, 1 more press, 2 more presses on this outside prong here. All right. Not biting down too hard. I'm just doing a little, just gentle presses because I'm trying to build the base. I want to observe the base. And for the sake of this video, I want you guys to see this. For you guys that came late, when this base first came out the package, it moved like this guy right here. You see that? Now, it does this. All right? That's on a custom figure there. A little bit choppy. So I'm going to use my fingers to work the angle of these prongs. See what we got. All right, it's back turned again. That's okay. So I'm going to switch it back over to my DB figure, my Haiti Repro figure. Moves a little bit better. So the figure, this base is showing us that it could possibly be a receiver, or we could make it a cornerback. All right? Without using any heat. We got good movement. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get my lighter, and I'm going to pass this lighter over the back prongs here. All right? I'm going to see what type of what we can get here. So I get my flame going like so, and I do that. One more time. I do that. And check and make sure I didn't. Because when you pass your lighter, you come from this side first, or if you go that way, the first set of prongs is going to get the heat first, and you might accidentally, shorten one side over the other. So you gotta be careful how you pass the flame over your prongs. And do it again. And do it like that. Do it like that. Okay. Things look even. All right. And sometimes when you set the figure down on the board, I like to get down like this in a chair. You might be able to see my face here. Well, I sit down in the chair, or I may kneel and look all the way under the base and see if those prongs are making contact with the board. I got a picture I want to show you too, concerning the prongs touching the board. Also, after you pass your lighter over your prongs or use your hot pliers on your prongs, you want those prongs to cool off, because warm plastic can give you a false reading. Because when the plastic is warm, it's sticky, and it can give you some amazing strength. But after those prongs cool off, the base goes back being weak again. All right, let's run it. All right, this movement was settled down a little bit more. I just want to do something real quick. I'm gonna put him up against our chief. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he still gets pushed around. Okay, let's do this. Let's put them up side by side, and let's do a little short run here. The speed is about equal almost. All right. Now, there's still a lot more, pressing that I can do here. This time, bite down a little harder. I'm going to go all the way down this prong. See, what you want to do, you want to get these prongs thinned out. This is what the pliers do when you smash on these prongs. You want to thin these prongs out, and when you do that, you make the base more responsive. I'm checking comments to see if anybody else came in. All right, I'm gonna show you that picture in a minute of prongs touching the board. All right, we're gonna go there in a moment. All right, bite down a little harder on these prongs here. Take our thumb and you're going to sweep those prongs back, because we want to encourage forward movement. Yeah, and it's really settling down now. So the base is smoothing out. Yep, I like what I'm seeing. And it's showing me that it wants to be on the right side of the board. All right. Match them up anyway. See what happens. Still gets pushed around. But again, this figure is lighter. It gets pushed back, but not as much. That's a good sign, see? The base is showing us promise. The base is growing now. It's getting better. So as I take my Zurn pliers and I press harder on these prongs, flattening these prongs out. This just on the back of the base. All right. Very smooth. Very smooth. I'm going to go over here and show you this picture real quick. I'm going to bring you over to the desktop in just a moment. Let's see. Scroll down and open this one up. Okay. All right, you're looking at the rear of an ITZ That's a Formula 55 base. And you see how the prongs contact the board right down here? You see that? You want all your prongs touching the board surface. You want all 10 toes down. All right? Here's another base here from the side. That's a Formula 37 base. And you see how the prong makes contact here and there? Let's see what else I got. The back of that same base. All the prongs right there. Now this prong right here, I mean, I tweaked on it a little bit. And you notice how rounded that prong is? I still have that base somewhere on the table up here. But that prong right there needs to be squared off a little bit more. Got to do a little bit more work on that corner of the prong there and this corner over here. Let me fine tune that. When I say the corner of the prong, I'm talking about right there and right there. Right. I need to get my my pliers on those corners to square off that that part of that particular prong. Yeah, that you talking about this base you're currently looking at right here, right? Yeah, this is one of my that base. I had that one for a while, and I used it in the video. See, sometimes when I do these videos and I tweak a base, I don't tweak the base all the way, and I use it as a guide in my instruction. You know, but for the most part, this is how you want your prongs to look. All right, this base right here, this is a Formula 37, and you notice how the prongs contact the board surface evenly. That's what you want. All right. You don't want uneven contact of your prongs because that's going to be reduced. It's going to be reduced performance. Okay. Let me see. Is that another picture after this one? I want to make sure we got. All right. Yeah. Those were the. Okay. Let me open up this one. Yeah. This picture right here is showing a base inside one of the clip guides that I showed you earlier. So if you want to trim the tips of your prong, that's how your base is going to look when the base protrudes from the edge of the guide, as you see right here. You see you got prongs sticking out. So you would take your flat edge, your straight toenail clippers, and you would trim that tip off. Now, I did this picture this way because I wanted you to see how the prongs protrude through the cut guide. Now, that's too much prong. I would never cut that much prong off at one time. I would use a thicker guide and trim the very tips of those prongs. Let's see here. We got right. So I would use a thicker guide to trim those prongs. But like I said, I use this picture to show how the prongs protrude from the cut device. Let me go back. I think that one's a little closer. Okay, then this one is the thinner guide. And you see how much prong is protruding out? I would never cut off that much prong. That's way too much. Now, when you trim your prongs, you get more strength out of the base when you cut low like that. But for me, no, I wouldn't go that low. Let's see here, cause see, I like to have my bases with a balance of strength and speed. Let's see, we got another bass here. I didn't want to do that. Go back. That's a black 437 ITZ bass. And this is a CL2 bass, I believe it is. CL1 or CL2. These basses are really good for speed, and the thickness of the prongs will give you some power. Another ITZ bass. Oh, that's a broken figure I was repairing. All right. So yeah, looks like we've been on here about 2 hours, and it appears everybody said hello to everybody. Everybody's done talking. So we're going to call it a night. And I thank you for coming and letting me talk for a couple hours. I'm Mo. Thanks for watching, man.